If you guys don't know, Spirit Airlines officially shut down and ceased operations. It's going viral right now. It's all over the news. Here's a news story breaking it down.
Another big story in the skies this morning. Spirit Airlines ceasing operations overnight after bailout talks with the White House broke down.
The low-cost carrier leaving thousands of workers and travelers in a major bind. Chanley Painter has the details. Good morning, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, guys. So earlier today, the company announced it was going out of business and ending its operations immediately, telling passengers to not even go to the airport, saying, quote, "To our guests, all flights have been canceled and customer service is no longer available." Despite the company's efforts, the recent material increase in oil prices and other pressures on the business have significantly impacted Spirit's financial outlook. With no additional funding available to the company, Spirit has had no choice but to begin this wind down.
Yeah, its wind down consists of canceled flights. Some people had connecting flights and found out mid-flight that their connecting flight was canceled. A video of that is coming up next.
Well, this morning's announcement could impact hundreds of thousands of travelers and reportedly some 17,000 employees. Through the month of May, some 9,000 flights and 60,000 potential passengers are now impacted. Plus, the airline would have had 1.8 million seats to sell and would have had some 300 flights per day. Spirit's shutdown comes after a deal with the federal government could not be finalized and as the budget carrier struggled to get back on its feet after a second bankruptcy in less than a year. According to the Wall Street Journal, the airline had been seeking a $500 million lifeline from the Trump administration. The president said this yesterday.
There's no amount of money that can save a company when their finances, they just manage their finances bad. But let's hear what Trump had to say.
Well, I guess we're looking at it. If we could do it, we'd do it, but only if it's a good deal. But if we can't make a good deal, no institution's been able to do it. I said, I'd like to save the jobs. We gave them a final proposal.
Well, now other major carriers are stepping up to assist stranded Spirit workers and passengers, including Frontier Airlines, who tweeted, quote, "We are ready to support customers who may be impacted if Spirit Airlines ceases operations, with a focus on helping people continue their travel plans with low fare options."
Damn, it just dawned on me, like, what about the pilots? How are they getting home? Because most pilots are like, oh, I'm gonna just fly this, take this flight home, but they can only typically go through Spirit. So if Spirit shut down and you like across the country, how do you get back home? And I think this is great for Frontier to step up. I mean, it's a great PR option and a great human option to look out for the human workers and I guess passengers impacted by this shutdown.
United and American Airlines say they are also ready to help. American says it has capped ticket prices on routes where it directly competes with Spirit to help limit disruptions, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I don't know what people are going to do. Now, here is a pilot giving his last, informing the passengers on the plane, like, hey, after we land, we're done.
We got a notice from our union, right, that we're going to be ceasing operations at 3 a.m. Eastern time today.
Middle of the night.
My flight to Puerto Rico.
Met a lot of friends along the way. Had some great conversations with some of you.
What you didn't hear was she said she has a flight to Puerto Rico. A flight up to Puerto Rico that she's going to miss because of this.
Flight to Puerto Rico.
Met a lot of friends along the way. Had some great conversations with some of you over the 14 years. Had some not so great conversations occasionally. A lot of crazy stuff has happened, but it's funny as we sit here, I'll speak for myself. I don't remember any of the bad times. Just the good ones. So, Spirit, believe it or not, started flying in 1983. I think it was called Charter Air at the time. And in 1992, it changed its name to Spirit. So we've been in the air since 1983. What is that? 43 years.
43 years, yeah, but they filed bankruptcy twice. They tried to get a merger with JetBlue, which was blocked by the government, which we're going to touch on shortly.
Unfortunately, that's over. So thank you for your support over the years. And onward and upward, right? Go. God bless you all.
Onward and upward. Yeah, man. You know, it's tough when you found out at 3 a.m. that you're losing a job. But at the same time, I imagine they had some forewarning that this could happen. But in terms of who to blame, who do you blame for this? Let's go to Fox News because they're literally calling out Elizabeth Warren and Pete Buttigieg for blocking the merger that would have saved Spirit back in the day, and they still went to go on to file bankruptcy even after the merger was blocked twice.
Let's take a look back at that merger with JetBlue that could have saved Spirit Airlines. You go back to the merger. The merger itself was $1 billion per year in consumer savings, 10,000 new direct jobs by 2026, and 1,000 daily flights to 145 plus destinations. Remember, Spirit, along with JetBlue, are the low-cost airlines, not the big ones like American, United, Southwest, and Delta. So you look back in the history. So in 2023, Biden administration sued to block that nearly $4 billion merger. 2024, the federal judge blocked it. The Biden administration brought that lawsuit. It caused Spirit not once, but twice to file for bankruptcy in 2024, in 2025. Then, of course, what we saw play out yesterday, 277 flights canceled, boom, drop, 17,000 jobs. 17,000 workers are out of a job today, could push fares up by $100.
Jesus Christ. I mean, like, you know, people are going to take their political stance to try to make it political, but, you know, the numbers don't lie. If that merger could have happened, potentially it would have been saved. There's no real guarantee. But here are like some of the highlights before we get into them. You know, I've flown Spirit before a couple of times. I remember during COVID, the price to go for like a round trip to Vegas, right? I believe it was like a $37 one way or $137 round trip. And when I tell you the people on this flight, it looks, you know, when you drop prices that low, you're going to attract people who normally wouldn't fly. They're not the people that fly Spirit never fly Delta, never fly United Airlines. But we had a safe flight. No fights broke out like you see. Check in. No customers were getting jumped by Spirit employees like you see in this video. Like, this is crazy, but you know, people will miss Spirit. It was like the soul plane company on wheels. You never knew what was going to happen, but people had fun. I'm curious to see what the fallout would lead to with the economy and maybe put more pressure to, I guess, you know, I hate to say it, in the war to kind of stabilize gas prices. But let me know what you think in the comments section. See you next video. Peace.